Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. You may have seen it in the last episode if you watched all of it, but we were upgrading our slime farm, and we've still got a long way to go with this project. Now, it has been a huge success so far, providing us with tons and tons of drops, but believe me, when you see the full farm I've got built later for this episode, it is going to absolutely crush what this farm is producing. So I haven't spent more than a couple of hours, maybe not even 2 hours, over here, AFK at this farm since the end of the last episode, and we have gotten ourselves 28 of these slime heads. We are absolutely pumping them out. We're getting loads of slime blocks, and no surprise, we've got loads more down here as well. This project is going really well, but later on in the episode, it's going to go to a whole new level. And popping into our storage area to get ready to start doing what we're going to do this episode, what do I see? Like this random ender chest. I thought, why did I leave that there? And then I'm like, what are all these shulker boxes? And do you know, I reckon this is Corrales right here, grinding out some materials so that we can make more concrete for the shop. That is an immense amount of sand and gravel right there. So for the beginning of this episode, I'd like to turn our attention back to the road project and to start actually linking up some things together. We have pathways in this base area that I'm obviously not going to use very much because of the elytra, but I do want to continue this and have it connect all the different things in the base together. So what we're going to do is take a page out of Corrales' book and create ourselves something like this. As you can see, there is actually just black blocks at the very back, but from further away, it's a pretty good illusion to make it feel like you're going into a tunnel. And so we shall do that here. We shall have a tunnel, but we'll actually be able to go inside the tunnel and it will link up to other things like a path on the other side, and most importantly, our gold farm. Remember, we do technically have a gold farm here, and the last time I checked up on this was the last time you saw it on camera. And you know, that's pretty reasonable. That's pretty reasonable right there. That'll craft up to a stack of ingots at least. So I have set up a beacon and I've carved out some space for our tunnel. There's actually a lot of it here, so the illusion will be pretty easy to make as it goes quite deep. And this little gap is where the zombie pigmen fall down, so we can't go any further back than that. And over here to the right, I actually found like a little group of caves underground. I heard mobs in here, and they're grassy ones. This is kind of rare, you know? Little grassy underground biome thing. But anyway, what we will put on this side over here is some sort of collection system for the gold, because it doesn't really make sense to travel all the way down to the bottom. We can bring it up to this level with redstone and make this the place where we collect that. And so opposite to this, we're going to have a hallway that goes through here to connect up a few things. One of those could be the jungle temple that's actually in this area. We could just preserve it and then maybe use it to store something. I don't know exactly what. So the tunnel will take a turn, and then it will take another turn again, and then on the right hand side we're actually going to hook this up to the entrance to our skeleton farm. I'm talking about this old thing, of course. So we have these two corridors to get up and down, and essentially I've just linked up the tunnels. Of course I'm going to develop this and make it look a lot nicer, and then eventually the tunnel will make its way down here and link up with this path from the outside. So that's how we link everything together. So starting off with this space, things couldn't have worked out more perfectly. I forgot to check the height, and actually the one block above that one is the bottom of our portal area. So we got lucky to squeeze this in, and this space hasn't been developed because I got to make the entrance down there. And so I figured right on the opposite side is where the gold is going to be brought up to us. But the most important view is probably this one from out here, and you know what, it's a little underwhelming. I think it probably needs a few more blocks around the front here. And it may not look like much of a change, but the tidying up of the leaves and the adding of the lanterns, yeah, looks really good now. And over here we have our gold room. It's, you know, not too much to marvel at, just a simple elevator from down below that brings up all of the rotted flesh and the golden nuggets up here. And so opposite that we have our corridor, and I've gone for a rather kind of plain design right here. It feels relatively industrial. It's a step away from our theme a little bit, especially with the floor, but I just really like it. It's simple and plain to walk down, and it kind of suits the environment. Oh, and this is how you get to the jungle temple, right? It kind of opens it up on the side. There's some steps down, and I got no idea what we could do with this, but yeah, I feel like we should do something to preserve the jungle temple. So next up in this unfinished corridor, we have the entrance to the bone farm, which actually looks really slick and really cool. and I'm happy with that. Now we have a problem, which is the neatness of things getting lined up, and it just so happened that this lined up perfectly by chance with our tunnel, but the end over here won't. There's actually a solution to this. Rather than try and line this up with a path and have something awkward, we're actually going to shift this tunnel back and just have another turning and have it go through here and connect further on. This also kind of came close to the edge, so I had to rip out some of the jungle, and considering we've got to expand this tunnel for the design, that's going to end up looking ugly from the outside. So this is what I was talking about. I love the way you see the tower as you approach this. That's awesome. But yeah, we essentially just make a little left turn here to make the way these two tunnels don't align with another a little less obvious. And I really love actually keeping all of this right here with the leaf blocks over the top. Great transition, and then it comes very plain and industrial again. And that's it. What a great project. That felt like a very old school Minecraft project, you know, creating tunnels to link things together. And you know me, probably never really going to walk through it too often, as I tend to fly everywhere, but I love the fact that it's there linking things together. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Yep, I timed myself. Coming back into this area, we've done all this work on the storage recently. You know, how is it working out? I said the key to having orderly storage is to take the time after every project to actually sort out all the junk that you've accumulated. So I was walking around with 5 shulker boxes of junk from all that digging, and that's how long it took to tidy everything up. Just, 4 minutes, and we're orderly again. And it won't be long now until those shulker boxes get filled up with junk again, because we got digging to do. We got a beacon set up over here next to our slime farm, and this is actually the top layer of it. We're going to be tearing out all of the stone that you see right there and opening this thing up to the sky so that it can run even faster, and then we're going to be expanding the farm and taking it to the next level. Here come the slimes, up the slime elevator, and here is some absolute carnage going on. Look at the amount of slimes tipping over the top, getting sliced and slashed by my AFK player here. This is taking it to the next level. And it's also not the Hermitcraft server. This is actually my creative backup of the server, where I've been doing a lot of designing and testing. So not only did it take a long time to build this thing, it took a long time to get to this design right here. But I am very, very happy with all of the mechanics that make this now possible. So first of all, those slime blocks are to stop the slimes from jumping up and down. This just makes it much easier for my player to strike the slimes every time. And then obviously we get the slime heads, there's one right there, and also the slime balls. The elevator's been designed so that slime balls coming up to the top will go across the top here and actually get picked up by those hoppers. So that means we get those extra little bits of slime over here. And then there's the lava at the top, which is actually designed to split the large ones into smaller ones. That makes it so much easier to shuffle them down into this space. And it is actually possible for the large ones to get split and then the ones at the next level to get split in the lava again. But never do the smallest ones get killed. Sometimes the medium-sized slimes that come up here also hit the lava, but not very often. And overall, the loss rate from the lava is very minimal and actually helps by splitting up all of the slimes. So another important feature is this iron golem right here. It's designed to lure the slimes that come up to the water into this space because they can see it and they'll head towards it. And so the only remaining flaw is that slimes that travel to this corner right here can't actually see the player. What I might do is just put an additional iron golem over here, so they head this way, and then when they see the player, they'll then head into this corner. And because we're producing such an extraordinary amount of drops, I put this little platform down below as a reminder that we're going to use minecart rails and hoppers to actually pick up all of those items and unload them. Now before we head back onto the Hermitcraft server, let's talk about height. Where the player stands right here is 24 blocks below the ceiling of this farm, and that means that slimes can spawn down here and then go into the contraption. If I had built this any lower, then it starts to create an area down below that's too close to the player and slimes don't spawn in. So we're essentially aiming for maximum efficiency, and back here on the Hermitcraft server where I've actually built the farm in survival, you probably noticed that the shape here is circular coming down, and there's a very good reason for that, and that is to increase efficiency even more. So this is the range at which a slime will be able to detect the iron golem in the middle, which is 16 blocks, and our spawning platforms were made as giant squares. So I'm going to renovate the spawning platforms with new materials, but we're also going to fill in these spaces down here so that slimes don't spawn in them. If they spawn in the corner, they'll kind of move in a random direction and they won't pick up on the iron golem. So by removing the spawning area in these corners and having that circular shape, it means any slime that spawns goes straight towards the center. And yes, all of the floors of the slime farm are currently blocked up so that we can renovate it, and so that the slimes weren't actually coming up to the top while I was building this. So while we transform our farm, I figured we'd put some better lighting in there. No more of these torches randomly around. We're actually just going to put jack-o'-lanterns in the floor, and I can do this so I only need 12 per floor, so that's going to be a stack and a half in total. And look at that, this farm over here is barely ever loaded, yet it pumps out tons of this stuff, so I'll take way more than I need and I'll keep some back in our storage area. I love that we can place jack-o'-lanterns without a block underneath. That was like a grindy, annoying thing about this block. But now, in order to craft it, you've got to do this beforehand. It's not the worst thing ever, but it's kind of annoying. And here we are, many hours later. I have been cleaning up the entirety of this farm. There is smooth stone everywhere. The corners have been filled in with slabs so that nothing can spawn there, and it is neat and tidy from top to bottom, and a perfect place for all these slimes to spawn and head straight back into the middle. This is just an amazing site right here. We're not in the creative world, we're on Hermitcraft. All that hard work has paid off, and we've just got an unbelievably efficient slime farm here. This is ridiculous. Wow, obviously I've got some lava here to kill all the slimes because we haven't built our collection system yet. That's what we need to do next so we can pick up some slime balls and some slime heads. And over here you can see that slime balls actually get caught on these blocks here. So what we're going to do is double up the hoppers and actually point them in the other direction so they can come down the side here and go into the same dispensary system to send the items somewhere else. So I'm not sure where they're going to go. The logical place seems to be straight across over to here. Well, that appears to have been a waste of time because the slime balls, they ain't getting picked up by the hoppers. The hoppers ain't full. I don't know what's going on there. So this is it now, my friends. I say moment of truth, the time of truth. The time of AFK farming. Everything I believe is ready to go. I've created this little chamber here, and now we're going to see how many of those slime heads we can get. In my relief to get going here, I kind of skimmed over some details. So obviously I've got like a safety cage. We've got the iron golem on the side to attract more slimes over to where I am. And back here we got the storage system sorted out. This is actually probably not going to be temporary as I have plans for this wall. But yeah, down here we can just pick up an absolute ton of items. This AFK session couldn't have ended in a more hilarious way. Now, I checked on this over an hour ago, and so I know this wandering trader has turned up recently, and I actually want to trade with it. So I'm going to turn off my clicker. But yeah, a wandering trader has like actually spawned. Like right here. In this space. What are the odds? How is this even possible? Or maybe actually it spawned down below and got brought up through the farming system. Anyway, this is my AFK Minecraft profile right here, which is why the view is janky, the frame rate is low, just so it has like minimum impact on the computer while I'm AFK. So now what I want to do, I want to trade with you, so I need to clear out my inventory and get me some mini blocks. Look at this. Our iron golem has taken damage and no slime should be able to reach it. But we can repair it with an iron ingot. That's a feature now, of course, in the game. And the llamas are like on top of the cage. And I kind of realised the wandering trader is standing in the spot, the other side of the walls. So there's no way it could have come through the farm and then got to that spot. It's really bizarre. Okay, I've got on all of our mini blocks. And now we can see how many goodies we got from this farm. By the way, I've still never seen a wandering trader over at that other platform. Yet we have no problem getting them in places like this. So the wandering trader being up here actually highlights the floor. I didn't realise there was a gap right here. Any old mob could have come into this space, but then maybe not, because I reckon now what the wandering trader did is probably spawn in just somewhere over this corner, right? And then eventually wander down here and into that hole, which needs to be covered up. So I've just done a bunch of crafting. Let's have a look at our spoils from this project. Remember, one overnight session, and there are still things I can do to improve the rates, but I think I might just be done with this now. Look at this. Almost 3 stacks of slime heads. That is superb. And look at how many slime blocks we got. All of that, plus a little bit extra. That's just ridiculous. Now, selling some of that may lead to diamonds, but we also gathered a whole bunch of materials just working on this project. And as you know, we sell stone, we sell the different types of stone and whatnot in the rock shop. And over here, I have actually tidied up. Don't shoot me down into the hole, dude. That is not cool. I've actually tidied up every single block that we have obtained during this project into this shulker box right here. So I am obviously going to have to be able to restock our shop, but also the point here is, again, organization. So I am going to time myself and see how long it takes to get all of this stuff tidied up. So I got to work sorting out the items and breezed through it. It honestly felt like about 5 minutes, and when I looked at the replay mod, it was 15 minutes in total. But that is the trick, just always dedicating that little bit of time to sort your stuff out. And now we have some shulker boxes here full of things that we can go stock up our shop with. And by the way, I absolutely love these dispensers that we installed whenever I go to the portal. Just do a little top up, make sure I've got, close to a stack. And to bring you up to speed on what's happening here in the shopping area, Mumbo's actually lost a lot of support, and it kind of looks like False is now in the lead. Yeah, clearly in the lead. Well, if I'd have known, I could have used a different pick. It's actually cobblestone that we're in need of. Someone has brought out all of this, and we're actually doing okay on stone. I am surprised we have not sold any lapis sooner. Someone has brought the 1 stack I had in there. I would have thought lapis to have been, more of a sort out item. Hey, check this out. We are selling the ink sacks. I guess we can restock. Whoever brought that, I hope they sort of realised they could have just taken some more if they wanted to out of this shulker box. And it would have been an episode or 2 ago that we actually sold all of our honey blocks. So I put an additional stock of it down here, which customers have noticed. Bit of a strange spot, but I wanted to keep the symmetry of the room together. So any more? Yep, we've got one here. And that's all of it for the honey shop. And I just can't keep up. This is a money maker. The glowstone down below hasn't made anything, but 2 full chests. Oh, that's amazing. I'm going to have to go AFK at the skeleton farm again. Oh. And having just checked out all the chests for the concrete business, me and Keralis have made 40 diamonds each as well. The diamonds are really starting to roll in now this season. It's terrific. And this was a little bit of a surprise. Maybe Keralis was sorting out some diamonds, or did I leave these here from last time? Oh, I can't believe how many we made this episode. That's terrific. Let's actually craft these into blocks. 27 diamond blocks in a single episode. That's just awesome. And so, my friends, we have now slime heads to start up a new, well, I'm not going to call it a shop, but I have a project planned For this space over here, I'm hoping to get to it soon, but lately I've just found everything I wanted to do to take a really long time. I just spent the last 3 days totally grinding out this episode. It was a blast, but sometimes my ambitions are a little too big for me. And, you know, I want to set up a shop here and over there, and I don't know how long these things are going to take. But anyway, that's all I've got time for this episode. I hope you've been entertained. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like on the video, and I will see you soon with another episode of Hermitcraft. So, ciao for now. Bye-bye.